50, 60 years ago, there was an abundance of land. Now, if you want to farm, you got to farm more intensive, but because we still want to grow the same amount of crops on a smaller area of land, you want to push those crops harder, you want to push the lands harder, which kind of pushes you into almost doing too much to it.
In the Fraser Valley, there's only limited amount of acres available for us. And, I mean, we have 4,000 cows on this dairy farm here, and 2 cows per acre is what the environment kind of like to have. I think one of our biggest challenges in the farm is what do we do with all our manure?
Manure is actually a good material to put back on the land. There's nutrients in the manure that are good for the crop. There's a lot of organic matter that helps to improve the physical conditions of the soil. But just like most things, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing.
I call it liquid gold because if you utilize it well, there's major benefits to it.
There has been a fairly big effort to try and encourage farmers here to increase their storage so that they can make sure that they apply the manure at the right time.
You know, you put too much manure on and the nitrates get too high in the soil, and that'll just, it causes all kinds of problems.
We have 2 nutrients that we're particularly concerned about are nitrogen and phosphorus. Are these nutrients starting to accumulate in the soils that we have in the Fraser Valley, which in some cases is good. We need to build up what we call the fertility of the soil. But once we get up to a larger amount, then it can start becoming a concern for potential environmental pollution.
When we spread our manure, we stay 100 feet away from the streams.
If you have a creek, in the olden days, you never look back when you're spreading manure. Right. Now you have to, because you don't want to have it ended up in the water.
If it gets into surface water, then it can cause a lot of algal growth and other types of growth. It can choke out other plants, and then these die, and you get all sorts of problems. Fish will have issues.
Fraser Valley is pretty biodiverse.
It's probably one of the nicest places in the world to live, and I think we have to be conscious of how we look after it.
Well, as soon as it came out, any plant that comes out is worth looking into, and we thought it was a value-added thing for our farm. We had to add some covered fuel storage we didn't have, and we had to build some more manure storage. But overall, if you're doing it right, you don't really have to change a whole lot of your operations. I think for the Fraser Valley, everybody should be on.
The compost maker for us has been a very good investment. It's allowed us to put less gallons of manure on per acre. For any farm above 100 cows, I think it's a very good investment.
Economic environmentalists, they don't always go hand in hand.
It's not enforced like it should, like it's not yet, but it's something that it's always in the back of your mind.
Too much going for the environment will not help the farmers. Going too much against it is not going to help the environment.
When everybody's on the same page, we all work for the same thing.
The Fraser Valley is worth protecting because we'll live here for the next 200 years.